Phishing is when someone tries to trick you. They pretend to be your bank, your delivery service, or even a friend. They send you messages or emails that look real, but they're fake. And their goal? To steal your password, your money, or access your account. Phishing is a type of cybercrime where attackers use fraudulent emails, text messages, or websites to trick individuals into revealing sensitive information or installing malware. Stay alert. Stay aware. There are many types of phishing attacks, ranging from generic email scams to highly targeted attacks aimed at specific individuals or organizations. In this video is one of the newest and most concerning phishing techniques to steal sensitive data. Phishing attacks typically begin with a deceptive message, often sent via email, SMS, or social media. The message may mimic the branding and language of a trusted organization or individual, creating a false sense of legitimacy. When a user is tricked into clicking a malicious link or file, then code execution occurs without the user's explicit permission or awareness. A reverse shell, also known as a remote shell or connect-back shell, takes advantage of the target. The danger of this method lies in the fact that it can bypass multi-factor authentication (MFA), which is commonly used to protect sensitive systems. It works by tricking a victim into executing a malicious script that creates a tunnel back to the attacker's machine. A reverse shell is a script or executable program that makes it possible to gain interactive shell access to a system through an outgoing connection from that system. Malicious hackers often use reverse shells as a means to send commands to a compromised system. This storyboard is for anyone who uses email or social media every day to be aware about one of the most common online threats, phishing, and also for those who want to learn about cybersecurity, about cyber kill chain stages. We'll break it down using a model called the cyber kill chain. A kill chain is a term used by the U.S. military to describe the steps or stages an adversary takes to attack. Intelligence-driven computer network defense informed by analysis of adversary campaigns and intrusion kill chains by Lockheed Martin applies the same concept but to cybersecurity, a cyber kill chain. Organizations around the world have adopted this model to help better defend against more advanced/targeted threats. Cyber kill chain methodology. The purpose is to identify patterns of behavior which can be used to defend against specific strategies and threat vectors used by malicious actors. The 7 steps of the cyber kill chain enhance visibility into an attack and understanding of an adversary's tactics, techniques, and procedures. First, a hacker gathers information: who works at the target company, what email format they use, what roles are exposed. Gather information about their targets to identify vulnerabilities and potential entry points. This is the reconnaissance stage. In the weaponization phase, the hacker uses the previously gathered information to create ways to get into the target's network. This involves creating believable phishing emails that look legitimate. Collect the tools to successfully exploit any vulnerabilities that they may find when they later gain access to the targets or victims. A hacker set up a shell listener on the attack server to create a reverse shell. A reverse shell is a script or executable program that allows interactive shell access to a system through an outgoing connection from that system. Once the target machine is compromised, the reverse shell initiates a connection back to the attacker's machine. Delivery stage. Hacker attempt to infiltrate the target's network by delivering malware. Common methods include sending phishing emails. There are different types of phishing attacks. We've got phishing attacks that are general in nature, which is pretty indiscriminate. An attacker going to send it out to anybody and see who responds. In this case, a user received an email from a bank that asked sort of urgent action required. He was given instruction to open the attached document and follow the instruction. The user clicks on the file to download and open it. It executes malicious code and calls to send a remote connection request where the attacker establishes a connection from a remote machine. Then he takes over control of the victim's system. Stage 4. Exploitation phase. Once the malicious email is delivered, when the victim opens the file, the attack begins. Further infiltrating the system or network, looking for potential entry points and weaknesses. The victim is unaware that his system has been compromised. In hacker's terminal, can be seen he is in control of the victim's machine console and gained unauthorized access of the system. Installation is the fifth step in Lockheed Martin's cyber kill chain. In this phase, a hacker gained control over the system. Once a foothold is established, attackers can use the persistent access to gather more information about the system and launch further attacks like lateral movement or data exfiltration, and potentially download additional tools or Python script to steal session cookies from the victim's machine. In this phase, we'll demonstrate attack to extract cookies directly from a victim's device that could result in a hacker gaining full access to one of your online accounts. On the victim's PC, we can see that the user is currently logged into his social media account. The hacker downloaded a Python script from the repository to the victim's machine via a remote console controlled by the attacker. Then run the script on victim's machine to extract the cookie information from a browser and save it in JSON format and send it over to hacker's machine through secure tunnel connection. Once transmitted, a hacker opens developer tool or cookie editor browser extension, copy the cookie value, import it to the browser. Now a hacker successfully accessed the victim's online account without asking a password, and it bypassed the two-factor authentication. Command and control. Set up command and control is the sixth stage of the seven-stage cyber attack chain, in which attackers remotely establish control of the victim systems via malicious C2 commands. With C2 established, the attacker can now control the system, extract data, or move laterally. Actions on objectives. Finally, attackers can perform data exfiltration from the system. Their main objective is gathering, encrypting, and extracting confidential information from the compromised system, financial fraud, or full account takeover. A hacker can potentially stay on a compromised computer system, discreetly maintains long-term access to systems despite of disruptions. How to protect yourself from phishing attacks. Never provide your personal information in response to an unsolicited request. If you believe the contact may be legitimate, contact the financial institution yourself. Never provide your password over the phone or in response to an unsolicited internet request. Review account statements regularly to ensure all charges are correct. Check the sender's email address. Beware of suspicious links and attachments. Verify requests for personal information. Trust your instincts. Stay alert. Stay aware. And remember, if something feels off, it probably is.